Good afternoon, Your Honor. Tina Moynihan on behalf of the people, P84692.
Good afternoon.
Jessica Scheib on behalf of Mr. Kelvin, who is formal reading, understands his constitutional rights and stands mute.
Thank you, counsel. Good afternoon to you. Court waive formal reading under plea of not guilty. Mr. Calvin, I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both. Probable cause via Zoom, August 28th. That's at 8:30 on a Thursday, 36th District Court, Judge JK. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person the following Thursday, September the 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge JK. Understood, Mr. Calvin? Not guilty, please enter on your behalf. Waive formal reading as to bond from the people. Ms. Monahan, APA Monahan.
Thanks, Your Honor. The people are asking for a $50,000 cash surety bond with a GPS tether, along with the conditions of no contact with the complaining witnesses in this case. The reason being, Your Honor, is that Mr. Calvin was employed by the Detroit Police Department. This was an individual who took an oath of protect and serve, yet he engaged with following the one complainant who is his child's mother, finding out a location with which that she was at, and then when she was in a vehicle with the second complainant, chasing that vehicle, attempting to cut that vehicle off multiple times, ultimately ending at a nursing home in the city of Detroit. He approached the vehicle in full uniform as an officer, and retrieved a firearm from his waistband and then pointed that firearm at the complainant. She was then removed from the vehicle. There was an altercation near his vehicle, and when she returned back to the original vehicle that she came from, he then took a vehicle key fob that belonged to her and then left the location. This is an incident from January. There was notice sent back in April to Mr. Calvin's attorney at the time that was working with him through the process, I believe through IA, and he is just now coming to court before the court for arraignment. I understand that the court would normally take into consideration the fact that he's turned himself in as a positive factor. However, notice of this case, I believe, has been conveyed since April, and so there has been some delay in trying to resolve this matter. I do believe that this individual is a danger to the public given his status and his current his employment at the time, and the fact that he was in uniform at the time that the offense took place, that and also grabbing for his firearm. I believe it may have been his duty firearm, given the fact that he was in full uniform as well. And so I think that 50,000 cash surety with a GPS tether is more than appropriate.
Does he have any assaultive convictions or any capious history you're aware of?
Nothing that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Thank you. Response.
So, Your Honor, my client is 31 years, has no prior criminal history whatsoever, not on probation or parole, nothing pending. He is retired DPD. He turned himself in this morning. So whether notice was sent or not, we don't know. He doesn't even have an attorney at this point. He's been court appointed. So we don't even know if that notice was sent to an attorney never got to him, never sent it to him. We don't know. He indicated that he did not, or he would have turned himself in. He knows how, if anybody knows how this is, he does. Your Honor, he is DPD. He understands that. So he turned himself in as soon as he found out about that. And he is in 8 months that have passed, we're not aware of any incidents. This is not a stranger. This is the mother of his child, which means he knows where she lives. They share children, and yet in 8 months, there's no issues that we're aware of at all. And yet we didn't hear anything from the people about that either. 8 months is a long time, especially when the parties are family and know each other and share children. Your Honor, another very important part of this report is that under audio video review, the last sentence says, it should be noted that this video does not show my client, Mr. Calvin, raise or point the handgun at anyone. That is what the report says. So it's not consistent with what the complaining witness is saying. Now, I know there's other things in the report, and I know the court has the report, and I'm not going to read it all into the record, but I think that that's very important to say that they watched the video, the green light video, and it doesn't show that there was him raised. It specifically says it should be noted that this video does not show him raising a handgun at anyone. So he is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. given that there has been age that has passed, given that he has no history whatsoever, a capious history, I don't believe he's a flight risk. I don't believe he's a danger specifically to the complaining witness, again, given that even with no contact order or being arraigned, there's still no issues that we're aware of. So I'm asking the court to give a high personal bond, absolutely no contact. And if the court is not inclined to do that without a tether, then we wouldn't be objecting to that. I just don't think a tether is necessary because since January, we're not aware of any incidents, and this wasn't even entered until April. We're now in August. And honestly, my client was gonna have us ask for no assaultive contact because I don't believe there's been any issues. However, we know the allegations, although they're just allegations, and the court most likely is not going to be comfortable with that. So we're not going to be objecting to that. So we're asking the court for a high personal, no contact, anything else that the court will order, and for the reason stated on the record, Your Honor.
Thank you both. All right, Mr. Calvin, these are very serious allegations alleged to have taken place while you're in uniform for the police department, which is concerning in itself. I know, as stated by your counsel, you have no criminal history, no capious history. That's also taken into consideration, as well as these allegations took place January of 2025. Warrant not having been submitted by the people until end of March 31st of 2025, over 2 months after the date of the incident. And I am unaware since that period of time or since the January date, the allegation you've had any contact with this complaining witness, assaultive or otherwise, or the judicial system or any officer in general. The allegations is that you chased this complaining witness and complaining witnesses in your car, pulled out a handgun while in full police uniform. You may make certain threats to this individual, cornering them after chasing them down apparently in your vehicle in a parking lot that had no entrance, and making certain threatening comments as well, including but not limited to know where you live, taking key fobs apparently of the vehicle that they were in. And as stated, this allegation, assault, was alleged to have taken place while you were in a police uniform, removing your gun from a holster and pointing it at the complaining witness. And for those reasons, given your lack of capious history, however, I do have concerns for the reasons placed on the record. Bond is going to be set at a $50,000 personal bond with the following conditions. During this bond, you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon. You're not to drive any vehicle, no driving. You're not to go anywhere near the Lance Street block in the city of Detroit. No contact with either complaining witness, Ms. Crosby or Mr. Graham. That's no contact of any kind, orally in writing, through a third party at their place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. You're not to purchase or possess a weapon, and you will be fit with a GPS tether with a curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. to properly protect the safety of these complaining witnesses, given the concerns the court's placed on the record. And I have considered all advocacy from both parties, including you surrendering yourself to the court to address, as well as your lack of history, capious or criminal. Mr. Calvin, do you have any questions on your court dates or bond conditions?
For kids, I can't even talk to my kids.
I didn't say anything about your kids.
I'm in contact with the mother of my kids.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. No contact with the complaining witness that you are alleged to have chased down and pointed a gun at and threatened. No contact with that individual at all.
How would I be able to get in contact with my kids?
That's not before the court, Mr. Calvin. You could do a third party or work that out. But to be clear, you're not to have any contact with the complaining witnesses, and that's no contact of any kind, orally in writing, through a third party at their place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. I didn't say anything about your children. If family members or third parties want to be assisted in resolving that, but you are to have no contact with either complaining witness. Understood? Any other questions on court dates or bond conditions, sir?
No, sir.
What was the bond amount?
50,000 personal. APA Monahan or Ms. Scheib, anything further on this matter?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nothing.
Ms. Scheib? All right, thank you. All right, unless you have any questions, you're all set, Mr. Calvin.